SiriusXM's First Wave presents Four for the Cure Memorial Weekend.
Hello, this is Robert from The Cure with my 80s Top 30. Very catchy. We have to start somewhere. Where better than with the definitive archetypal classic 1980s pop sound. Clean, glossy and sharp, not words I'd normally cozy up to, but when a song is this good, ABC and The Look of Love, Part 1. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. When The Cure signed their first record contract with Fiction Records back in 1978, we had one other label mate. We got on really well with them. They toured with us. I sang backing vocals on their first album, The Affectionate Punch, and loved pretty much everything they did. This song, though, stood out, and it's always been one of my real favourites. This is The Associates with Tell Me Easter's on Friday. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. Another seminal sound and a great collaboration. This is a fab combination of music, words, voices, instrumentation, production, character, style. In less than 3 minutes, this song pretty much conjures up a whole summer. This is Bananarama and Funboy 3 with It Ain't What You Do, It's the Way That You Do It. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. The next song off is from one of my all-time musical heroes. I love stuff that he did in the 70s, the 90s, the noughties, and maybe not quite as much stuff in the 80s, but the next song, if only for the way he sings Flower in The Change, which is about 3 minutes in, or, whatever. I have to include a song by him anyway. This is David Bowie with Let's Dance. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing with my 80s Top 30. Next up is a song that would be in my top 30 of all time. I love everything about it. I remember I used to play the album, The Hounds of Love, so loud just before pretty much every Cure show we played in 1985. And this song was my favourite then, and it's my favourite now. This is Kate Bush and Cloudbusting. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. The next song is from a band that's very, very special to me. I played their album Treasure as I was getting ready on my wedding day, and it's very hard to pick just one song from that album as I love them all. This is the Cocteau Twins with Persephone. This is Robert from The Cure with my 80s Top 30. The next song takes me back to Steve Severin's Christmas Flat. 1981, I think, possibly 1982. Anyway, plotting the Gloves' takeover of Japan and then the world. I used to put this on his hi-fi at number 11, over and over and over and over, until it was dark enough to float outside into the London snow again. Good morning, midnight. It's Christmas indeed. This is Cristina with Things Fall Apart. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. Next up, another Severin Christmas Flat song. This stuff had a strange influence on our Glove project, although I must admit I can't quite remember how. Maybe the synth bass, maybe the marimba, maybe the German words. One of the times I almost learned to dance, I remember too. This is D.A.F with Sex unter Wasser. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. Next song, instantly recognisable. It was really good fun watching this lot grow from tiny synth pop thing into huge synth rock thing, with always at least one great single on every album. This is one of the best, I think. Depeche Mode with Personal Jesus. This is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. The next song is a song that would make my top 30 of all time. This is the sound of the 1980s turning into the 1990s. One of the greatest guitarists and bands that I've ever seen and heard. This is Dinosaur Jr. and Freak Scene. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Next is another song that would make my top 30 of all time, I think. Really, one of the mysteries of the 1980s as a decade is how it ended up with so many idiots on top. How come Ian McCulloch didn't trip into 1990 ruling the world? This is Echo and the Bunnymen and The Killing Moon. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Although Sledgehammer caused a much bigger stir, it was this next song that moved me a lot more. Another seminal sound and vision. The vast gated drum reverb, the auto-wah sub-bass, and on top of it all, the voice of Peter Gabriel singing Red Rain. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. From one of the giants of the 1980s, yet another song that would be there or thereabouts in my top 30 of all time, I think. A group that kind of did what we did, went from underground to overground, As soon as I heard this song, I fell in love with it, and despite, or maybe because of, the 4-line Yorkshire rap in the middle, I still love it, very loud and very often. This is the Human League with Human. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. The 1960s via the 1970s via the 1980s or something. So much fun, too much fun. This is the Jesus and Mary chain. Some candy talking. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Another song that would have to be in my top 30 of all time. Although this was the sound of the end of the 70s, it was the sound of the start of the 80s. Its effect on me as an artist and as an individual was pretty profound, and it's one of the saddest and best songs I ever heard. This is Joy Division and The Eternal. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. There were more than a few songs in the same kind of style as the next one, whatever the kind of style is or was, and in the right place at the right time and in the wrong mind, I could really enjoy this kind of style a lot. This song in particular stuck with me, as it was and is one of the best examples of this kind of style, despite the rapping. Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, I feel for you. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. The next song is one of those, I can't help it, I just love it things. 2.5 minutes of sharp suited out with the Nutty Boys' good time music. Another song I almost learned to dance to. This is Madness, with the return of the Los Palmas 7. Waiter. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Next song up, an absolutely beautiful piece of music from one of my all-time favourite groups. I particularly love the way in this song that the sound of every breath being taken is the loudest thing in the mix. Absolute genius. This is My Bloody Valentine and Lose My Breath. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. What can I say about the next song? One of those secret guilty pleasures, except it's not a secret and I don't feel guilty, but it is a pleasure. Not many days went by on the Cure Kiss Me tour in 1987 when this wasn't played very, very, very loud. Mel and Kim, Respectable. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Next up is another song that was a Steve Severin Club Flat Christmas staple. I hold on to my picture of this as it was then. Possible and New Order. Everything's Gone Green. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. The next up is yet another post-show Clubsmith 3am favourite, one of the all-time great weird late-night sing-alongs. I love this song. Even the rap bit. This is Yoko Ono and Walking on Thin Ice. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Next up from another one of the best bands I ever saw and heard, going on after them on the Prayer Tour in 1989, pushed The Cure to a new level, and they'd really only just started. This song sounds heartfelt, effortless, carefree, gorgeous and fun, and it always makes me feel very, very happy. Cue the best stick-click intro ever. This is the Pixies and Gigantic. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Next is another one of those songs that just jumps out and gets you. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, ow! Love at first listen, one of the best feelings in the world. Voice, melody, structure, and the sound of this song. Don't get me wrong, The Pretenders. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Psychedelic rhymes, backwards drums, harp trills, ham tambourines, surf harmonies. This is so 1980s, it hurts. From one of the really great albums of the decade, this is a song that reminds me of a particularly lovely time in my life. Prince with Starfish and Coffee. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. Next up, another seminal 80s track, but so much more than that. Another really outstanding band, instantly recognisable sound, 3 great albums in a row, cool tunes, cool words, cool shades. So how come Richard Butler didn't end up owning the world too? This is the Psychedelic Furs and Heaven. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s top 30. The next song is a bit of a cheat. It was going to be a song called Christine, which is a gorgeous song, but then I came over all psychedelic and sentimental. So, from Robert Smith and the Banshees, this is Dear Prudence. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. The next song is a bit of an obvious pick. It's probably on more 80s collections than any other song I can think of, but it does somehow, for 3 short minutes, manage to whirl me back 27 long years. This is Soft Cell and Tainted Love. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. Next up's one of those Peel Show songs, like White Riot or Allison or One World or Waiting in Vain, where I just stopped and listened. This is the Sugarcubes, and Birthday. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure, continuing on with my 80s Top 30. Next is one of the most beautiful songs from one of my all-time favourite artists, cool and smooth and curious. This is Suzanne Vega with Small Blue Thing. Hello, this is Robert from The Cure. With the final song from my 80s Top 30, we have to stop somewhere, and where better than alphabetically. Finally, from one of the greats, a song from Swordfish Trombones, an album that drowned post-Cure show dressing rooms around the world through the 1980s and beyond. The very magical Tom Waits and In the Neighbourhood.